Hi guys, in this video we're gonna go over how to make your first Roblox ability. So first off, we're gonna add a local script and rename it to ground slam. As I'm going to make a ground slam ability, I'm gonna start off by adding a few variables into the script. First off, local debounds, set it to false. Then we're gonna add a player variable, getting the current player who's executing the script, and adding user input service, basically to recognize what key you are pressing, and add a cooldown. We're gonna just set it to 5. So now we're gonna type UIS dot input what's it change? Input began uh, column connect, and then add a function, and then inside of the function add input and comma is typing with uppercases, otherwise it won't work. Then make a new line. If is typing, then return. Then we're gonna add else if. So if you are not typing, in and else if inputs dot keycode is equal to enum.keycode dot, let's say, v. Then we have to add a double. Then new line. And if debounce is equal to false, and the debounce is equal to true, so we don't want it to repeat itself a lot, it's equal to true. And we're gonna go to replicate storage, make a new folder, and rename it to remotes. And inside of it we're gonna make a remote event and name it to ground slam. Now inside of the local script, go up to the top and add a new variable, local ground slam is equal to game get service replicated storage dot remotes dot ground slam, and in the debounce drop a line and add the ground slam at fire server. So what this does is basically when you click the key V, then it's gonna check if the debounce is false, and if it is false, meaning you haven't used it yet, then it's gonna fire a remote, so basically give a signal to start another script. So we're now done with that script, so we're gonna add a new script in server script service, add a normal script, and rename it to ground slam SSS, standing for server script service. The first thing we're gonna add is debounce. Local debounce is equal to false, and local debris is equal to game get service debris. Debris is basically to get rid of the objects that we add into the game later on. Local tween service TS is equal to game at get service tween service. Tween service is basically how we're gonna make the effects, and we're just gonna copy the code from the local script. Ground slam that on server event that's connect, column connect function. Inside of it just type player, so we're gonna get the player, brackets function, brackets player. It's correct. Oh yeah. Okay, now it's gonna work. So the brackets add player to get the current player. And first off, we're gonna add the character. So local character is equal to player dot character, and we're also gonna add local humanoid. Local humanoid is equal to character add wait for child, then brackets humanoid. Basically, we're just gonna take damage. Your hitbox local humanoid root part is equal to character wait for child humanoid root part. It's basically the center of your body in Roblox. Then we're gonna print and check if it works. So print and everything is in an V. So it's gonna, if we press V, it should fire the local script and send a remote to the server script. So let's play. Okay, if we press V and look into the output, yep, the server worked. Let's go back into the script. Okay, so we're now gonna remove the print and add a new variable and call it limb. It's basically where we're gonna attach the hitbox to your arm. So local limb is equal to character at wait for child, and then in my case I'm doing R15, so right lower arm. Or if you're using R6 character, I'm gonna write the code here. It should be character at wait for child, right, and then space arm. So that's gonna work for R6 if you're using R6. And space, yeah. So if you are using R6, use the second one. And we're gonna add a hitbox. So right, local hitbox is equal to instance, so a new instance dot new, and then part, and then we're gonna add a comma, which makes the parent. So in this case, we're gonna add a character. So the parent of the part is our character. So the part will be in our character folder. So hitbox.anchored is false. So it's not anchored, so it won't get stuck. Hitbox.can collide is also false, so we can phase through it, so it doesn't glitch us out. And then hitbox.cframe, basically the location is equal to root part.cframe. So we're gonna set it to our humanoid root part position, and let's test it. So we press V, yeah, it's gonna fall through. So that works. So we're gonna now set it to the limb.cframe, and drop a few lines. We're gonna add a weld, so local weld, so basically make it stick to the limb. Local weld is equal to instance.new, and then add a weld instance, and then drop a line. Weld.part0, basically the first part it's gonna stick to is the hitbox. Then weld.part1 is equal to the limb. Then weld.c0 is equal to weld.part0.cframe at toObject space part1.cframe. So now we're gonna add the weld parent. So weld.parent is equal to part is equal to weld dot part 0 dot parent dot, no, just weld dot part 0, and now it should stick to the limb. So yes, let's check it out. Click play. So if we press V, it should stick to our right arm. Let's see it. And yep. So the hitbox now sticks to our arm. We're gonna now resize it so it looks a bit bigger. It will become bigger. So add hitbox dot size is equal to vector3.new, basically the metric system, vector3.new to the x, y, and z. And we're gonna make it 3, 3, and 3. So it should now be a 3 by 3 box. Let's click play now. Okay. So if we press V, bam, it's a square box, and it all works. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this part. If you want to see the next part, make sure to subscribe and get notified when the next part releases. Next part, we're gonna work on the animations and the bigger hitbox with damage. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.